What a wild event that was. Poatan just demolished Ankalaev to take back his belt, and the Georgian machine, Merab Dvalishvili, once again proved why he's one of the most relentless fighters in the game. He defended his bantamweight title for the third time, tying the division record and continuing to build his case as one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. And get this, Merab's already talking about jumping right back into action in December. In his post-fight chat with MMA Junkie, he said he wants to fight again in just 2 months, and the name he dropped? None other than Petr Yan. Their first fight was pure domination from Merab, top control, pace, pressure, all one-sided. It's honestly tough to picture a different outcome in a rematch, but you never know in this sport. Merab also talked about that crazy moment where he almost finished Sandhagen, saying the referee probably should have stepped in earlier. Either way, it was another textbook display of cardio, grit, and dominance from the king of pace himself. At this point, Merab's basically cleaning out the division and starting to lap guys with rematches. And honestly, running it back with Yan feels like the perfect next step. Here's what the champ had to say. Yeah, I want to stay active. I don't want to wait too long for new contenders. Petr's on a 3-fight win streak. He's a former champion. I think he deserves a shot. If the UFC wants it, I'm ready to fight in December. No problem. With December still missing a main event, don't be shocked if this ends up headlining that card. Merab also gave props to Sandhagen, saying he was impressed by how well Cory defended his takedowns and forced him to work harder than usual. He mentioned that striking actually felt easier than wrestling that night because of how well Sandhagen prepared. But as always, Merab adjusted mid-fight, kept the pressure, and broke him down.
Yeah, I want to be busy, and I don't want to wait too much the next contenders. Like, I think Peter is 3-fight win streak. He's former champion, and I think he deserved title fight, and I think so. If UFC wants, I'm ready to fight in December, no problem.
Well, right now there's no main event for December, so maybe you guys get the main event.
Maybe. Let's see. That would be good. Yes, I was impressing actually about how he was defending my takedowns, and yeah, to get up. He was doing a great job. Also, he was pushing my hand. That way, he was making tired my hands. And yeah, he was well prepared, well training, and then I think striking is more easier than wrestling with him, because he was making my wrestling way harder than the striking. Striking, I had much success with him.
Jiri Prochazka wasted absolutely no time after that brutal knockout win over Khalil Roundtree. Right after the fight, he got on the mic and called out Alex Pereira for a trilogy bout. Now that's a bold move considering Pereira already has 2 wins over him, and there's a hungry contender in Carlos Ulberg waiting in line. Ulberg's been on fire lately, stacking finishes and making a serious case for the next title shot. To make things even more interesting, Pereira's been openly talking about moving up to heavyweight for a potential super fight, which has turned the entire light heavyweight division upside down. Dana White even said he likes the idea of Pereira moving up, but they still need to discuss it since there are still a few good fights left for him at 205. And while Jiri's finish was absolutely highlight reel material, his performance before that knockout didn't exactly scream title shot. Still, he's got that warrior mentality, and after that post-fight call-out, fans are buzzing. Let's hear what Jiri said. Yeah, I was too patient in the first rounds. I waited too long for the counter. I thought I'd catch him clean, but he was just waiting for me defending and backing off. I had to change my approach, and I did that in the 3rd round. When asked what would be different in a 3rd fight, he added, I'll take what I learned from those first 2 fights and fix my mistakes. I'll be better. I'll find a way. Classic Jiri, always chasing evolution.
Was there ever moments in the 1st and 2nd round where you were thinking, oh, I'm being too patient, I'm being too calm?
Yeah, that was right. That was right. I was too patient. And that was something I didn't realize, that I waited too much for a counter, too much waiting for a counter, because I thought like that will be there. I'm on the place. I will catch him really clearly with the counter. But his technique and his attitude was just waiting for my attacks. Good defense and go back. Good defense and go back. So I needed to change it, and I changed it in the 3rd one.
What would be different in a 3rd fight in your mind?
I will take all these 2 fights, what I've learned from and I will not repeat my mistakes. I will be just better. I will find a way.
Right after Pereira's huge win over Ankalaev, Khamzat wasted no time calling him out on X, saying, "Congrats Alex, but we still have unfinished business." Fans instantly went wild at the thought, but during the press conference, Pereira made it clear he's got other plans. He said he's focused on moving up to heavyweight, not on fighting Khamzat, and he even mentioned he's not eyeing the winner of Aspinall versus Gain either. Instead, he's thinking big, like super fight at the White House big, calling for a Jon Jones matchup. While a Khamzat fight would be huge, Pereira seems laser focused on making history. Interestingly, Khamzat's teammate Arman Sarukian has been pushing him to move up himself, saying he could easily hang with light heavyweights and even heavyweights down the line. With both men targeting massive fights, the light heavyweight scene is pure chaos right now, and fans can't stop imagining what a Pereira versus Khamzat clash could look like. At the post-fight presser, when asked about Khamzat's call-out, Alex said, "Thanks for the congratulations, but I only want a super fight. I want to move to heavyweight. That's all I can say." When pressed about Dana White being hesitant, Pereira just smiled and said, "No need. We already talked backstage." Clearly, something's brewing behind the scenes.
Middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev has called you out and said that congratulations, but now you guys need to finish your business. Are you aware of what business that is, and are you interested in him moving up to fight you at this stage?
Thanks for congratulating me, but all I want is a super fight. I want to fight at heavyweight, but all I can say is thank you.
Só agradeço só pelos parabéns.
When Dana White was in here, he didn't seem over the moon about the idea of you fighting at heavyweight. If you could send a message to him, I'm sure you'll have meetings and stuff, but what would your pitch be to move up to heavyweight?
Não precisa, a gente já teve conversa lá atrás.
No need, we already talked backstage.
What did he say?
O que ele falou?
Segredo.
It's a secret.
Ilia Topuria was all heart after witnessing that insane UFC 320 card, especially seeing his countryman and close friend Merab Dvalishvili absolutely dominate Cory Sandhagen with that non-stop pressure and freakish cardio. On Instagram, Topuria posted a heartfelt message in Spanish, later translated to English. "Brother, your victories seem normal now, but we all know how hard they are. You're a living legend, an example of hard work, sacrifice, and heart. Beyond fighting, you're an incredible person. We love and support you always." Beautiful words from El Matador. Looking ahead, Topuria's next fight is expected in early 2026. There's still a bit of buzz about Justin possibly getting the shot, but most signs point to Paddy Pimblett being first in line for Topuria's lightweight title defense, and that matchup could headline Paramount's first UFC card of the new year. Paddy recently spoke about how he's preparing for the potential matchup. "Obviously, I need to tighten up my timing, especially if I'm fighting someone like him. But when I get people on the ground, they don't get up. I smother them, control them, and make them feel every bit of my weight and my shots. Since the last fight, I've been traveling non-stop, but now I'm finally home, back training every day and ready for whatever's next."
Obviously, you've got to get that striking time better if I'm fighting El Chirito. That's a lot what I want to work on, but me grappling always feels phenomenal. As you see in them rounds, lad, when I get people on the floor, they don't get up, lad, they smother people. Like Khamzat against DDP the weekend, once I get you down and I'm on top of you and I'm smothering you, lad, you're not getting up, lad, I'm controlling you. I'm making you feel my weight and making you feel some shots at the same time. That's the thing, lad, when I get on top of someone, you're not getting up. Nice to be back home for a bit, settled in, training every day. Since me fight, lad, a couple of days later I went to Dubai for 2 weeks. Then I went to Cyprus for a week, then went to America for 6 weeks. Was home for like 2 days, had to go to Monaco for the weekend. So it's nice to just be home, be settled, be in the gym training with everyone.
That's all for today's update. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss your daily dose of MMA news.